We're on special assignment again this evening, looking into why some school districts say being part of a $12 billion national school lunch program is not for them. And did you know that some of those taxpayer dollars also feed students who pay the full price? Fox 11's Mark Leland getting some answers this evening, following up on school lunch costs and waste.
The backlash over school lunch serving sizes and calorie limits had food piling up in the school garbage cans last year. Our cameras caught students in the Green Bay School District turning up their noses to the healthier menu items required to be put on their plate under the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act.
I throw some of it away.
It seems like a lot goes in the garbage.
I don't watch, but I know what happens.
A year later, another visit to Lombardi Middle School in Green Bay shows some improvement.
It's really good. There's a good variety of foods, and they're all it's really good food.
But the lunch for some is anything but balanced, with required menu items still ending up in the trash.
I don't like it.
Nearly 60% of the students in the Green Bay School District are eligible for free or reduced lunches, money the district is able to get back from the federal government if it complies with the program's guidelines. Green Bay received more than $6 million last year in federally funded reimbursements for all the food it provides students. The district tells me they can't afford not to be in the program.
You're talking about a lot of money, and there's a whole lot that goes into feeding all those kids. And so, yes, we do get a lot of money here.
But it's not just the free and reduced lunches that qualify for reimbursement. Green Bay and other districts also get federal money for those able to pay full price for their lunches.
All of the meals are subsidized, including the so-called paid meals, and I think the public isn't aware of that at times.
Kevin Concanon with the United States Department of Agriculture says while free and reduced meals are subsidized up to $3 a lunch, school districts also receive compensation for those lunches where students pay the full price.
That meal is subsidized at the rate of about, in round cents, about 50 cents per meal.
Half comes in the form of cash, the other half in food commodities provided by the USDA. And yet, across the country, federal officials acknowledge some districts are opting not to take part in the National School Lunch Program. The program implemented new nutritional requirements last year, calling for more whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, and limits on calories.
I would say, given the kind of changes that were required of schools, we wouldn't have been surprised if more schools said we just can't keep up with this.
Currently, there are 11 school districts in the state that do not participate in the National School Lunch Program. That means they do not have to abide by the USDA's nutritional guidelines. Kohler is one of those districts.
Jeff Mullaney heads up the food service for the Kohler School District. He prepares his own chef specials for students, like chicken pesto paninis, or on this day, risotto with chicken or ham and topped with fresh vegetables of the student's choice. The meals cost on average about 50 cents more than a lunch at, say, Green Bay schools, and they don't necessarily meet USDA nutritional guidelines. But like other districts, every meal comes with daily fruit and vegetable options, but they're an option here.
We're not forcing the kids to take the fruit and vegetable bar. It's buffet style, so they can come up to the fruit and vegetable bar, take what they like, and choose to not take what they don't like. At some of the schools that are in the program, they have to have that on their tray.
Mullaney also prepares a USDA-approved lunch for Christ Child Academy in Sheboygan. National guidelines are followed to the letter, and the hot lunches are packed up and shipped off each morning. And Mullaney gives Kohler students the choice of taking that same USDA lunch, but since the district doesn't require students to take the fruit and vegetable, the district doesn't qualify for any federal reimbursement. Serving 300 students a day in the Kohler district could be federally compensated to the tune of $750 a week, $3,000 a month, or roughly $22,000 for the year. But Mullaney says the district feels it gets a better value by being able to make its own nutritional decisions and not have to deal with federal requirements.
From what I've heard at other districts around the state of Wisconsin is that the amount of paperwork involved, all for relatively small reimbursement, just seemed, cumbersome and like a burden.
The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction oversees the implementation of the National School Lunch Program in the state. These 10 school districts opted out last year. This year, they were joined by the Swallow School District in Heartland. The district cited budget constraints and staffing issues as the primary reasons for dropping out. It should be pointed out, these 11 districts are mostly in affluent communities, and in most cases, no students qualify for free or reduced lunch. As for the food being thrown away by students, the USDA says that is not the result of just a few new nutritional guidelines.
Plate waste has always been a challenge in the school meals program long before we made these changes last year.
I think that there's a challenge. You know, we want kids to eat this healthy food, but we also have to provide them with food that they will eat. And I think you really walk a fine line with that.
While districts like Kohler cut down on waste by letting students choose what they put on their plates, Green Bay is evaluating the amount of food students are throwing away, trying to make its meals more appetizing. And in time, with better education, hope to have students accepting and eating the healthier meals. On special assignment, Mark Leland, Fox 11 News.
To see Mark's original story 1 year ago about school lunch waste and the cost to taxpayers, you can go to fox11online.com. You'll find the link attached to this story.